Celebrities aren't just about red carpets and million-dollar homes. Some of them are making legendary money moves, and others are blowing fortunes in ways that'll make you shake your head. Today, we're breaking down the 10 biggest celebrity investment wins and fails, and the money lessons you can steal without ever stepping on stage or into the ring. All right, let's kick things off with the biggest celebrity wins, the money moves that turned actors, athletes, and musicians into serious moguls. Number 1, Ashton Kutcher, the tech whisperer. You probably know Ashton Kutcher from that 70s show or 2.5 Men. But behind the scenes, the guy has been crushing it in tech. He got in early on Uber, Airbnb, and Spotify, when most people had no clue these companies would take off. Fast forward a few years, and Ashton turned a couple million into hundreds of millions. The lesson? Sometimes the biggest wins come from spotting trends before the rest of the world wakes up. Number 2, Rihanna, from hits to billions. Rihanna doesn't just drop music hits, she built a money machine. When she launched Fenty Beauty with LVMH, it blew up into a global brand worth over $2.8 billion. That's why Rihanna is officially a billionaire today. The takeaway? Building your own brand beats endorsing someone else's any day. 3, George Clooney, billion-dollar tequila. George Clooney could have just kept making movies and sipping coffee in Italy, but no, he went and co-founded Casamigos Tequila. He and his partners eventually sold it to Diageo for up to $1 billion. $1 billion. Moral of the story? Find something you love, scale it, and suddenly you're making more from tequila than acting. What made Casamigos special was its origin story. Clooney and his friend Randy Gerber originally created the tequila just for themselves, to share with family and friends. The product was so smooth and popular that it turned into a real business. Clooney didn't just slap his name on it. He helped create a brand identity that connected authenticity, celebrity, and lifestyle. That combination made it irresistible to both consumers and investors, proving that passion backed by quality can scale into billion-dollar success. 4, LeBron James, pizza power play. LeBron isn't just dominating on the court, he's dominating in business too. Back in 2012, he invested about $1 million into Blaze Pizza. Today, that stake is worth over $25 million. That's a serious slice of dough. The lesson? Investing outside your main career in businesses that scale can be a championship move. What's smart about LeBron's play is that he didn't just provide money, he actively promoted Blaze Pizza, even walking away from a McDonald's endorsement deal to show his confidence in the brand. His investment wasn't just financial, it was strategic, tied to his influence and personal credibility. Blaze became one of the fastest-growing pizza chains in America, and LeBron's early bet is now seen as one of the smartest athlete business moves of the last decade. 5, Jay-Z, the luxury liquor mogul. Jay-Z said it himself, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman." And he wasn't kidding. His investments in Armand de Brignac champagne and Douce cognac turned into hundreds of millions when he sold stakes to LVMH and Bacardi. The man basically turned luxury liquor into generational wealth. Takeaway? Culture plus luxury equals cash. What sets Jay-Z apart is how he fused culture with commerce. Armand de Brignac, often called Ace of Spades, became a symbol of success in hip-hop, promoted directly through his music and lifestyle. When luxury giant LVMH partnered with him, it validated not just the brand, but the cultural power behind it. Similarly, his Douce partnership with Bacardi became another powerhouse deal. Jay-Z built bridges between entertainment, lifestyle, and high-end markets, showing how influence can translate into generational wealth when paired with the right industries. Celebrities making billions off tequila and tech makes you wonder if I should launch my own billionaire energy drink. 0 sugar, 100% market volatility. For every win, there's a spectacular fail. Let's flip the script and look at the celebrities who managed to burn through fortunes in ways that'll make you cringe. 6, Nicolas Cage, the king of weird spending. Nicolas Cage made over $150 million in his career, and then blew it on castles, dinosaur skulls, a private island, Basically, a shopping list for a Marvel villain. The problem? He couldn't keep up with the bills and ended up selling off everything just to stay afloat. Lesson here? You can't out-earn bad money habits. In fact, at one point, Cage owned 15 homes, including 2 European castles, a deserted island in the Bahamas, and even a haunted mansion in New Orleans. He also had rare artifacts, luxury cars, and extravagant collections. When the bills mounted, he had to sell almost everything, and financial troubles pushed him into a cycle of taking on roles just to cover debts. His case shows how even incredible earnings can vanish without discipline and foresight. 7. Kim Basinger, buying a whole town. This one's wild. In the 90s, actress Kim Basinger literally bought an entire town in Georgia for about $20 million. Her plan was to turn it into a tourist hotspot. Spoiler, it didn't work. The project flopped, she had to sell, and eventually filed for bankruptcy. The lesson? Don't buy stuff just because it sounds cool. Real estate needs a plan, not just a headline. What made things worse was that Basinger's career went through a difficult phase around the same time, including costly legal battles over breached contracts. These setbacks drained her finances quickly. While she eventually managed to return to acting and recover, the town purchase remains one of the boldest but most misguided financial experiments in Hollywood.
A whole town? Bold move. I once bought a vineyard in Tuscany. At least mine produced wine. Hers produced lawsuits.
Number 8. 50 Cent. From vitamin water riches to bankruptcy. 50 Cent made one of the smartest moves ever when he got equity in vitamin water. When Coca-Cola bought the company, he walked away with around $100 million. Amazing, right? Problem is, years later, after some bad money management and lawsuits, he filed for bankruptcy in 2015. Lesson? One big win won't save you if you're reckless with the rest of your money. 9.
Curt Schilling, struck out in business.
MLB legend Curt Schilling tried to turn his passion for video games into a business. He sank about $50 million of his own money into a studio called 38 Studios. The company collapsed, employees were left unpaid, and Schilling lost nearly everything. Lesson? Passion projects are great, but passion doesn't pay the bills if the business model doesn't work. The collapse of 38 Studios was more than a personal loss. The company had also received a $75 million loan guarantee from the state of Rhode Island, which turned into a political and financial scandal when the studio folded. Taxpayers carried the burden, and Schilling's reputation as both a businessman and public figure suffered. It demonstrates how even massive personal investment cannot save a venture without careful planning and market fit. 10. Mike Tyson, $400 million gone. Mike Tyson earned over $400 million in his boxing career, and somehow lost it all. He spent like crazy on mansions, cars, jewelry, and yes, even pet tigers. By 2003, he was bankrupt. The lesson here? Doesn't matter how much you make, if you spend like there's no tomorrow, eventually tomorrow shows up. Tyson's spending became legendary. He once purchased a $2 million gold bathtub, multiple estates, fleets of luxury cars, and threw parties costing more than most people's lifetimes of earnings. Though he has since staged a financial comeback through acting, endorsements, and business ventures like his cannabis company, his story remains one of the most dramatic financial downfalls in sports history. So, what do we learn from these wins and fails? The wins came from building brands, spotting trends early, and diversifying. The fails? Almost all of them came from ego, bad planning, or forgetting that wealth has to be managed, not just enjoyed.
Here's the truth. Even with millions rolling in, celebrities fall for the same traps as everyone else. Overspending, chasing hype, or forgetting the basics. This is Bear and the Bull with Bulls, Bears, and Money. If you found this useful, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.